everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday evening wherever you may be. Thank you so much for joining us over on the Collector Sectors YouTube. Of course, I am super excited to have our next guest on the show. Of course, that's Zach from Sequential Classic. I'm sure I'm butchering it slightly. I know I'm saying the words right, but that's just who I am. But of course, we have Zach, and we're going to talk about some of the toy photography. I've read up on some of his storybook, The Goodies. And we're going to learn more about Behind the Plastic, of course, another show that he is incorporated with, and just find out more about how Zach became to be as cool as he is. I know we have a little bit of a fan here in our household, as I was just saying backstage to Zach. So it's definitely going to be interesting to learn a little bit more about him, especially because I hear it more on one side rather than the other. So with all that said and done, please help me in welcoming Zach to our show. Hey Zach, how is it going this evening?
Yeah, that's I'm blushing over here. Well, thank you very much for having me. This is awesome. What an honor to be on your show.
Of course. No, thank you. Like I mentioned in the intro, and you have a fangirl in the house, so it's always nice to meet other people who I know a lot of toy photographers, but it's always the same people, and I don't get to meet a lot of people outside, and it's nice to branch out and learn about them as well, right? So, and learn some skills, especially because it's something that I am deeply interested in, but I lack the commitment and the creativity. It's there. I want to do it, but I just can't, you know what I mean? Right? So this is where I come and meet everybody.
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Like, I want to do stuff, but when I start doing it, I get overwhelmed. I guess is what it is. So then I'm like, oh, I'm not. It's not good enough, right? Like, so I get in my own head. I think is what it is, right? But and that's why I like learning from other people, because sometimes they have different tricks that I can incorporate to make me feel better about something that I'm putting out there. So that's what everybody that comes on the show is here for, to help us learn about them and how we can incorporate some of the things and maybe some tricks and trades they might share with us, right? So.
Okay. I like it. I do that same thing. I look at everybody's work and see, not like how can I steal from them, but what can I learn from them, because there's so many cool techniques and everybody has their own unique style and so many incredible artists out there. You can learn from everybody.
No, for sure. And that's the thing, and it's so hard because I've seen even some pictures you've done with Danger Room Toy Photographer. That is my partner here. He is out there doing WrestleMania with Doodle's Toy Report right now. But, I've seen like his close-ups and like, even I'm like, wow, dude, you literally just started. You come from nothing, never even taking a good photo of your family. But here you are, taking these cool extreme, and then like I saw you incorporated a collab and it's just awesome to see how we can just learn from different people, whether they've been doing it forever or they're new to the game, right? Yeah, and then we're just me. I'm like, yeah. So good for you. So yeah, like tell us about you in the sense of, were you a COVID starter as well? Like I know I've seen you float about on some shows. Sadly, I don't remember all the information I hear from everybody, right? I think 90% of us started during the COVID era. We were locked in our house. We had some toys or extra money or whatnot, right? So tell us a little bit how you got into your game and what brought you to be here.
Well, technically, I did get started during COVID, but it wasn't because of COVID.
Okay.
I was a caretaker for my grandparents and was working the night shift. And so I had a lot of time that I had to fill quietly. And I had always had this idea in my head of doing toy photography. I didn't know that it was at this scale like it is on Instagram. I had no idea. Like back in, I don't know, 2016 or something, I had stumbled across Starch Bananas. So I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was such a thing, that like what it is, But it put something in my head, like someday I want to do that. And I finally found the time to just hunker down. And I made this huge book, like this 200-page graphic novel for my nieces and nephew, because when I was taking care of my grandparents at night, I was sleeping during the day, so I wasn't able to see my nieces and nephew, and I really wanted to just do something very special for them. So I just I found the perfect project, and so I made this graphic novel. And then just in January this year, I joined Instagram, saw what an amazing world the toy photography is, and jumped in, full steam ahead. And here I am.
Yeah, that's basically it. obviously I dabble in toy photography. My goal is to learn from people and become better. You know, I have no patience right now. I think it's because it's also summer. I'm like, that's more of a winter thing for me when
Yeah.
we're locked inside anyways. But yeah, no, you guys are so awesome. Like the photos seem, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know how people do it. Now, do you do a lot of, like, you do dios from my understanding? You do some as well. So do you shoot on your dios when you do your photography then? You're most of
Yeah.
the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do. I've made some dios for people who've hired me, commission work, and you know, I really want to shoot on those, but I'm like, they're theirs. I'll refrain from that.
Yeah.
But I have built my own, and I really want to build more of my all the stuff that I built for other people. I'm like, oh man, I really want one of these, and then I really want one of these. So I got to get to work building my own stuff. But yeah, it's great using your own dials. You build something, you use it, and I build mine in such a way that I can, use it multiple ways. So I get a lot of different use out of it. Like if you build a castle dial, you can get so many different shots out of it. You can use it for so many different things, not just castle look.
Oh, for sure. Like I bought one from Nemai Customs on Instagram, and it's a cathedral. It's like
Mm.
it's more of a cathedral look. So like it's just, you can use it for like an alleyway, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
the older bricks with stained glass windows, which you'll see a lot of stained glass windows in Mike's shots. It's usually because he's stealing my diorama that I bought. So, like, dude, could you not? Right? It's okay. We share around here. That's what it's all about. um, but yeah, I just started building like a giant rooftop one that's like the size of my table. So I'm being ballsy,
No
and I'm like, oh, I'm
way.
doing it. Yeah. So it's pretty big. I can't remember what the board is. It's like 10-inch. No, I have to measure. It's 24 inches in width. So like I can only imagine
Whoa.
length. But I'm
Are,
gonna try to do a water tower on top of it. And I've never done anything this before. I usually do the plaster dios where you can put like your miniature cars and stuff, like the very miniature stuff.
mm.
So now this is going to be very fun. So now I get to learn from other people, and I put up like a post like, tell me what some tricks and trades. Easiest thing I've heard and the simplest thing is don't overthink it.
That's absolutely
Right?
true. Yeah. Are you making it out of foam?
I'm doing foam board, yeah. So I lucked out here in Canada, which, sorry, I'm not sure where you're located, so forgive me. But
Kansas City.
okay, well, definitely not in Canada, right? So,
Not in Canada.
yeah, so like we have the same foam board that you would get out in your homeware's hardware store, but now they're selling like this perfect square one. It's like perfect, right? So like I'm just gonna buy that and build from there. Foam board seems to be much easier than plaster because there's more room for error. Plus, in photography, you can hide it,
Yeah.
right? Like I've used a lot of error pieces, but I'm like, it works because you can break up pieces and stuff with the foam board, right? So that's what I like
Absolutely.
about that stuff. So I'm learning. I'm learning from others with photography and how to incorporate my diorama skills.
Excellent. I can't wait to see all of it.
Yeah, I hope it goes well. I am bad with starting stuff and just stopping, right? But it's a big project, and Mike wants to use it, so I have to do it. So then I would imagine your dials, do you do foam board as well, or are you kind of like a mixture? Yeah, see, it's so easy to mess up on that, but still recover, which is why I like it so much, and relatively inexpensive, right?
It really is, yeah. Yeah, the cost of a little
So,
foam board and some paint, and you're good to go.
right. So I like Canadian beer and whiskey. Well, somebody's got to, because I sure don't. Right?
What's up,
I
Unworthy?
don't drink, so, but
Neither
that's
do I.
unworthy for you, right? He's always up to no good.
I got coffee and water. That's my go-to.
That's water. That's all we need. I gotta work in the morning. We don't need headaches. Okay, there, unworthy. Just so you know, some of us, we're good. So with the toy photography, I guess, are you also a collector, or these toys that a niece or a friend might have, so you collect them as well too? Did you start as a collector and then do the photos, or were you just like, bam, I'm doing toy photography and that's where I'm going. I'm gonna collect all these.
Well, kind of. Like I've been buying toys off and on, forever. But I guess I wouldn't necessarily call myself a collector per se. Although I don't know. I guess maybe I am, since I was technically collecting them. But when I think of collector, I think of somebody who, like, walls of stuff.
Yeah.
Shelves.
Oh yeah, I get that.
I wasn't like that. I was more of just like, every once in a while I'd see a cool toy and I'd be like, oh, I'll pick that up. But nowadays it's, or not specifically nowadays, because I've really cut back. Getting out of control, as I'm sure you well know how that goes.
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah.
when I was doing the goodies, I just basically bought the characters for the book, and they were all, kind of on the cheaper side of things, Marvel Legends and Jack specific and stuff. And then when I got on Instagram and started seeing all these wonderful Mezcos and Mayfects and, oh my God, all these amazing toys, even the NECAs, like such good stuff. Then I fell into the collecting. I was like, I have to have this and this,
Yeah.
and all of this and everything, So I got a little out of control, which was a lot of fun. And
Yep.
I really pulled back because, I mean, you can go broke doing this stuff.
So for sure. For sure. So always people are always saying, I'm like, dude, I'm too broke to be anything. You see this stuff? Like this stuff. That. It's not that we're broke, people. It's just like you have to tighten your belt when you're buying toys.
Seriously. It's crazy. I'm sure everybody in the chat knows exactly
They
what
know.
about.
They know exactly what we're saying.
Yep. But it's worth it. It's, and it, if you can take pictures of the toys on top of that, it's all really worth it, because it's, as you know, it's so much fun. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, I will say, when I don't get overwhelmed, I rather enjoy it when I can come up with an idea. See, a lot of the times for me personally, I want to do it like super late at night when I should just be sleeping, and like my brain is like, just shut down. But I'm like, I got to do something, right? Like, but luckily I was so awesome enough to get a photo in there is a Unworthy has a collab going on, I think, coming up. I think it's No Justice, and you have to forgive me, dude, because like hashtags are all over the place. Right? So,
I get it.
I think it's No Justice one, so I participate in that. It's the last toy photo I have taken, but I have gotten the itch again, so I'm super stoked to get into it. And now we got about 40 new figures here that just deserve to be seen.
Well, Mike is taking enough pictures for the both of you.
I know.
He's
I
crazy.
know. I don't even kid you when I say, "Where's your father?" to his son, and I'm like, "Let me guess." Yep, there he is, taking more. Like, it's never a gamble anymore. I know exactly where he is all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, dude, you don't need to post 7 a day. Right? 6 is okay. Right?
6 is
Stop
fine.
it. Stop it.
Well, he's doing amazing work, man.
Yeah, no, good for him. Especially because I know when I first started on Instagram, he was not an Instagrammer. He was totally like, no, I want no part of Instagram, which a lot of us were. I never was until COVID. COVID is where I joined Instagram. I was like, look at all my toys that I've been collecting. Right?
Cool.
I was bored, right? But yeah, no, he's come a long way, and I just love seeing the feedback within the community that is given to him. So obviously, I see the comments. I do follow Mike on Instagram. Everybody.
You do?
Yeah, right? Like, believe it or not.
Pretty good.
But yeah, it's just nice to see that as well from a community, right? So they're very welcoming. The community is very welcoming to people who are new within the toy photography realm, which is so rad, right?
Yeah, it is so rad. I remember that very vividly, getting into it, because I mean, oh yeah, he's dealing with that ban.
I know. I was like, what'd you really do, bud? Because it takes a lot to get a ban from Instagram.
They're probably like,
posting 7 times a day.
Yeah.
There you go, bud.
You're doing great work, though, Mike. Keep it up.
Absolutely. No, I love it.
Yeah, and I totally remember that feeling of getting my first story share.
Yep.
It was like, I didn't even know that was a thing, really. Like, someone shared one of my shots. I was like, I don't even know this person. They shared my shot, and it was, you know how it is. It's that kind of like serotonin, like, ooh, okay. And man, it is a very unique community in that regard, where everybody's just like, praising each other and applauding each other and encouraging each other and sharing each other's stuff. And it's just, there's nothing like it. I just love it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the people I lean to on the Instagram community is definitely that community, right? So like, I follow obviously we all follow different brands, but it always comes back to that community, and like the same group of people for some reason. Like, it's always like this huge, collab of people they don't even know, right? Like, they're all collabing with each other all the time, right? But Yeah, it's just been good. Like, I've enjoyed my time on Instagram since I've forgotten about everything else that is not within this community. Right? Right? Like, just forget about that and enjoy the things that you are here for, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Very cool. So, the goodies. I was trying to watch it on your site, but for
Uh-huh.
some reason, it's just like, I don't want to work for you. So, I want to hear more about. I was trying to pull it up because I'm going to share the screen here, but I need to know more about this. I couldn't read the book, which was very sad. Like, kept freezing as it was. There's like an
Oh,
optional thing. I'm like, I can't read any of this. But
oh,
I
bummer, huh?
saw that it was a graphic novel. Was this the one you were speaking of in
Yeah,
regards to your niece and nephews?
yeah,
Now, I know you use different characters, and of course, all the disclaimers are visual. They're their people. He does not make the characters. They're not his figures. He's just writing a book for his
yeah.
own good, the goodies. Um,
I
yeah,
just,
so
in regards to that, when I put the book online, I just really
mhm.
wanted to make sure to cover myself because, like Instagram is one thing, but when you like make a whole book, I didn't want people to think I was selling it or anything like that. I didn't want companies to get wind of it and think that anything weird was going on. So yeah, I just made sure to cover myself as well as I could. And really nobody's gonna care anyways, right? So but I figured
Not
I'd
unless you're
just
making money off of it, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. But I did go ahead.
no, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, so if you click there where it says the book, you can see it'll pop up as a really cool, like actual flip book.
I hope it works this time. I hope it works this time. It was just like, oh,
So let's see. Click on that little square right there, right below that arrow. Let's see if we can get that big.
oh,
I
you're
was so
optimizing.
I
There we
was so
go.
proud of myself that I actually made all this work. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, you did this whole site from scratch yourself?
Yeah, well, I
Did
used
you, like,
Wix, I
you
think it
a
was.
template, of course.
But yeah, like I had to use another site to actually make this flip book, and then I had to do all this embedding and all this stuff, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it.
Yeah, that's always fun, right?
While that's trying to load, I'll show you this. I got 20 of them printed
Oh, that's
for my
so
family.
cool.
So it's like, I mean, it's a graphic novel. It's full on graphic novel, you know.
No, that's so cool, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Even though nowadays I look at it, I'm like, from a toy photography standpoint, I'm like, well, I was learning. It was my training ground.
Of course,
I did,
right?
but still, it was the kids loved it, and I encouraged. So, yeah, sorry that thing's lit up. Might be
That's
something wrong
okay.
with the site.
It'll
Um,
load up in like an hour when we're done. Watch. But I'll get to read it then because I've been
oh
trying to
yeah,
read it. Since
awesome.
I found it, I was like, why can't on my phone it works, but I'm on my phone for StreamYard. So sadly I can't. I've been trying to get everything to go for our show today on the computer, which makes sense, right? So,
It sure
but
does.
that's okay. So everybody go check out the link is in Zach's Instagram, which I'm going to put on the screen right now. So be sure to follow him over on the gram, of course. So let me just get that loaded up. I know this one will load up. This one's easy. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even talk about the goodies anymore. When I first started Instagram, I was promoting the book.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling people that I'd made this book, and blah blah blah. And that was it was like working against a brick wall. You don't have any followers to begin with, and then you're trying to tell them about this book, and people are like, what? Who are you? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of shifted from making the long form stuff like that to just going into toy photography like this, and I just love it. I'm
Yeah,
addicted.
it's so cool. And like I see a lot of it, and I see so much from different people. And then sometimes I don't see anything because that dang algorithm. But recently I've been
I
seeing
know.
more of your work popping up.
Oh, cool.
And like I'm just like, they're so cool. So I like the Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna put this out there. I'm not an over fan of the. I'm not a fangirling over them, but I will respect a good Ninja Turtle photo when I see one. So I saw this one that you had collabed with a bunch of people. Um, this is such an awesome picture. So obviously
Thank
there's
you.
some layering done here. Was this built? This is done on a diorama that you made, and then you did some post edit, or like give me a little bit of insight of how you
Sure.
created this photo.
This is a lot of my dioramas aren't actual dioramas. I just, throw it together for this specific shot. So this is just a layer of dirt. And then if this is just on a table, layer of dirt, a branch from my backyard for the tree, some leaves, some fake leaves from Hobby Lobby or whatever. Behind Splinter, that's a black sheet hanging up. And then to the on stage right, or stage left, I guess I mean, our right, I have back here these shower curtains. Like the one I use for
They're
behind the plastic.
so cool. I love that shower curtain. Every time I see it, I'm like,
one.
I want it so bad.
I'm not in the shower, by the way.
No.
But I have one with just a forest, right? What's up, Blitz? I have one with a forest, so I use that in a lot of shots, and just foliage and stuff, and just grab whatever you have and try to make it look like what you want it to look like. So, and then I just have, these are the movie turtles, and this is done with 2 shots. One, actually, no, it's actually done with probably like 6 shots.
Oh, really?
Because you have the turtles, and then I had a long exposure from the little fire in the middle to get all that nice glow. Then I lit them with a, I don't know, whatever. What the heck is that kind of light called?
Tea light or something like that. I don't know.
Those little like panel lights.
Oh yeah. I don't know the name. Honestly, I'm like, here's the light, point it.
Oh, Loom
but
Cube.
yeah,
Loom Cube, that's what it was. So I put a Loom Cube on them on each side and layered that in, and then took a separate shot with Splinter under blue light. And then most of that fire I painted in because I couldn't get the fire right. I digitally painted it in. So, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this. I take my shots seriously. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I have a lot of fun. Kind of every shot brings its challenges, right? And this one was the big challenge was recreating the actual scene from the movie. So if you click on that next slide, you can see what I was working with. Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Yes, that's why I was like, damn, because I remember that part in the movie. It's like a predominant part of the movie to remember, right? So I'm like, oh shoot, man, that's so good, right? So I had to go through and look, and no, it's very well done, and I'm not there yet. I understand everything about layering photos, and sometimes it's not just one photo that you're working with, there is others, right? So it's just getting to learn from other people. So that is so cool. I do love this photo, and I love obviously it's a recreation. So I just unpacked all my Ninja Turtles. So and then when I saw this, I was like, look at that.
Awesome.
All my movie ones are right there with Splinter. So it's like,
okay, well, I'm expecting some pictures.
Yeah, I did a lot of pictures with the turtles when they first came out because they were so photogenic, the NECA ones, right? So, but now I'm like, I got to switch it up. We got so many other toys. We should start honoring them as well.
Speaking of, you just posted something saying you're missing one of the turtles universal.
I'm missing Van Helsing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Van Helsing. So I have everyone else, and it's not that I can go get them, but I'm very like, if I can get them for a deal, I'd rather wait because I've noticed there's been an abundance of Ninja Turtle stuff here at least. So I'm having a feeling that I'm going to see them go down on clearance, sadly to say. But that's how I do acquire a lot of my toys because I'm smart sometimes. Yes. Buy because right? Especially here. I think the Turtles are a lot bigger in the States. A lot bigger in the States, right? I'm sure there's tons of TMNT fans here. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like I see more from out in the States. Like you see a variety of collectors here, at least in my community, they collect a little bit of everything, right? But I see like the bigger collectors that in that brand are out in the States, right? There's a couple here and there, but I was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. You got like 800,000 pieces and they live in Florida, right? So I was like, okay, maybe it's the thing over there. But it's also not something I predominantly pay attention to. So who am I to say anything, right? Like I just collect anything that is attractive to my eye.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that I think is cool. So, and then this guy, I want this guy. What is this? Yeah. Gomez? This guy's name's Gomez, I think.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. I saw this one. I love this shot. This is super cool.
Look at
That's
you.
fair.
That's perfect. Your comment popped right up. That's
I
awesome.
I know, isn't that just odd? I wasn't planning that, guys. So again, this is our Mezco, obviously
Yeah.
112, right? Um,
So
he is in a lot of your photos. Is he one of your favorites? I'm gonna see if Mezco
my
favorites
favorite.
then.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's perfect. He's a perfect figure. He's for me.
Yeah.
I back in I don't know, a couple of months ago, I did a series where I made him my shop assistant and like kind of had him building my diodes for me and all this, and gave him a name, Oscar, and the little guy in the guitar case there is Pete, his little sidekick. And he just is everything I want out of an action figure. He's he's a working man. He's got all sorts of cool accessories, and so unique. Like for the people who know him, you know him. But for
Mhm.
majority of people, I still get people, who is that guy? I've never seen that guy before, and
Mhm.
yeah, he's just I don't know. There's something special about him. I got a
Oh, for sure.
connection with him.
There's for sure. I will say this straight off bat. I actually don't know anything about this figure except for what I've seen on Instagram, but I love this guy. I'm like, I want it so bad. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know any backstory, anything. I just know that's who he is. I've seen cool photos, and it looks like he would be a lot of fun to play with,
he
right?
really
Like
is.
a living cockroach, right?
The cool thing about Gomez is that it's a Mezco original, so the backstory is very sparse, and it's kind of like make it up as you want. So there's a lot of people who have this particular Gomez and all the other different Agent Gomez and Ninja Gomez and all these, and there's a lot of storytellers that name him something else and do their own stories with him. He's very versatile. Yeah, he's my muse. He really is.
Look at that, eh? I know. See, fangirling, fangirling,
Oh,
right?
I don't mind.
That's okay. That's okay. No, I obviously I looked at your stuff and I was like, yeah, he really likes Gomez, and which is cool because I don't have him, but it is a figure that it's sought after here. I don't think I'll ever find it in my hands, but I'll eventually get it, right? So
Yeah,
that's big.
he's kind of elusive. Oh
And then, of
yeah,
course, Toy Addicts, Black and Wednesdays, of
yeah,
course. I
yep,
love King Kong. I have King Kong versus Godzilla shelf right behind me.
awesome.
It's, yeah, love that. I'm going to assume this is one of the NECAs.
Yep,
Yeah, NECA, of course. I could tell a NECA from here.
yeah.
Now, I must ask the bananas. Did you make those yourself?
I made the banana peels,
Okay.
but the bunch of bananas I did not make.
Okay. I was just like, he had to make those banana peels.
Yep, I made them out of
No,
clay
those
and painted them up. They actually turned out really cool. I was
They look awesome. That's what. Okay, I love Godzilla. Don't get me wrong, but I was just like, damn, those banana peels look so real. Right? I was just like, for a little tiny banana, and I was just trying to figure out how you did it because I actually have a banana peel tattoo on my leg. So
really.
I have the Mario banana peel. My favorite
Oh,
power up is the banana peel. So I was just
nice.
like, banana peels. Yeah, it's instantly drawn to that. And of course, Toy Addict has this on Wednesdays. Everybody, there's all the information there. Black and Wednesdays. I haven't joined in yet. I know I suck. I'm sorry, but I'll try. I'm trying. Right.
Oh, you
For
got
me, it's getting a black and yellow theme that is not overdone. Right.
yeah.
So
That is yeah. I stumbled on that. Well, literally when he posted that, I was like, the first thing that popped in my mind was a banana, and I was like, oh,
yep.
that'd be cool if I could. And then I at that point I'd forgotten that I had all those banana peels. I was like, oh yeah, banana. How could I do it? I was thinking of an actual banana. How maybe a regular sized banana with a toy. But then I was like, oh my god, I have all
Right.
these bananas.
It was brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. Like I love it. Just the bananas alone. I'm like, it's sheer brilliance. Brilliance.
Well, thank
And
you.
then, of course, more Ninja Turtles. This is the two Ninja Turtles. Now, this dio, is this something you have built yourself?
No, I didn't build the
No.
house. This house was built by my grandpa, actually. This is a doll house that he built for my
Oh,
sister many, many, 35 years ago. And I borrowed it for the goodies. And I repainted it and kind of fixed it up a little bit. And my sister was happy to get it out of her house because it
of
was
course.
being used. But luckily she had kept it for all these years, and now I'm giving it a second life and using
Of
it in some
course.
shots. And yeah, I can't take credit for that, but good old Gramps did me a
See,
solid.
good old Gramps, though, right? Good old Gramps. No,
Yeah.
it's cool, though. I tried to buy a dollhouse. I bought a plastic one, granted. So not the same quality. You can't do as much alterations to that one.
Yeah.
Um, but I would love to just find an old wooden one and rework it for something. And forgive me, I don't know what the screen is doing. Everybody, it zoomed 100 times in while I wasn't. I'm like, I'm not
Got a
sure
mind
what
of
just
its
happened.
own.
Right? I'm just like, I didn't even touch it, but that's cool. I think they just really want to make sure they're seeing your page. So, like, let me reset that to a normal size so you people can actually see it. All right. Yeah, no, that was too much. I will not say that I'm perfect at StreamYard. I still screw up quite a bit on these things, but
It makes it
we're
more
all
fun.
learning.
Makes it more interesting for the viewers, I'm sure.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Yeah, I'm back on the page now, everybody. So I found some shots that I love. So I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man. Like
Oh, cool.
every time I can post something Spider-Man, I will do it. I'll find Spider-Man toys. It's one of my main collections on my shelf. So when I saw this photo, like I want to recreate something similar, not the
Yeah.
same, not a cup,
Go for
similar,
it. If
right?
this inspired you in any way, shape, or form, that is
Mhm.
incredibly flattering. So
Of course. And that's what we're all here for, right? Is to learn from one another, right? And as you can see within the caption of this photo, you've actually were taught and had some guidance with this rain effect in
absolutely.
itself.
Yep.
Now, is this obviously you just set up on like your table again
Hmm.
and then just lighting in this little rain effect?
Yeah,
That's simple.
it was a simple setup, but simple setup, hard execution. That rain effect is tough.
Oh,
You
I believe it.
know? But Fernando clued me into getting a hair stylist spray bottle, which
Okay, yep.
they have, yeah, apparently much finer mist, and gave me some clues on the lighting techniques and all that. And I got lucky because it turned out pretty cool. Sometimes I look at my shots, I'm like, okay, for the majority, I look at my shots, I'm like, I don't have any idea if this is good or not.
Mhm.
And then after a while, when I don't look at it for a while, then I haven't seen this one for a while, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know. And I always kind of surprise myself like that. Um, anyways, there's not much to it besides like just I took probably 50 shots and picked the one that the rain looked the best, you know.
Mhm. And that's what it is. Like even when I don't use my DSLR anymore, I assume that you shoot mostly with a DSLR as opposed to where I use my phone.
Mhm.
Phone is just more for convenience,
Mhm.
right? For
Yeah.
me, I hate having to switch everything. Um, but I would take 100 pictures, 150 pictures, and you'll still know like half those will be bad. You'll get those 10 that'll be great,
Yeah.
so on and so on and so on. But even now, I'll go back on some of those ones that I've never posted. I'm like, that's actually good. Like it might not. It's not spectacular, but it's better for when you start. When I started it, right? Like, oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was crap. I was like, better than where you should have been for that level, right?
Yeah. That's a
No, I
great
love
feeling.
that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's this.
Now with your camera on
Mhm.
your phone, is it one of those
Mhm.
ones with one lens or two lenses or three lenses?
I have five.
Five lenses on your phone?
Yeah, I
Whoa.
have five lenses on mine. That's why I'm like, I'll just use my phone,
Yeah.
right? Because it's hit or miss. Because when I post things on Instagram, it always when I like look at it closely, it looks kind of pixelated. So and I know Instagram does that. It messes with quality,
Yeah.
right? And that's where I'm like, maybe I should just use my camera. But then I'll use my camera, and I'm like, it's just not like I can't do the same movement sometimes. The camera, I can't, right? Whereas the phone, I can flip it upside down and stuff, and
Yeah.
it'll right. Um, but I really, my DSLR is always just calling my name. I'm just like, one day I'm going to actually attempt to do a setup with it and hope for the best.
You
So,
know, I'll tell you what,
um,
there's so many people using phones that I
mhm.
would never guess that they're using phones because the photos are so incredible.
Oh,
Uh,
for sure.
and I mean, if you don't have to go through all the setup of the DSLR, you know, and all the lenses and all the settings, blah, 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 if you can just get in there and shoot, why not?
Right. And that's it. Right.
Yeah.
I always giggle because I used to always have my camera with me and my phone, and there would be comments like, check her out just switching from this. I'm like, well, it's just easier and one looks better right now. And it's, you look good in this light, but not over here. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm no pro, right? Like when I
Yeah.
started photography, I was actually just going in and doing school photography photos. So like your yearly school book pictures, which is literally just smile at the camera. I push 3 buttons. We're done. We're not lighting you up for anything. We're not make sure your makeup's good. We're just like, take the damn picture, smile, and get out, right? Like it's, we didn't learn any in-depth stuff, right? And it's always something I'm like, I want to learn this, whether it's toys or humans or whatnot. But toys, I feel, are easiest because they don't talk back to you. They stay still for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah, for the
Right?
most part, yeah. If they're
Right?
cooperating.
Yeah, and you can have so much fun, and it's so diverse what you can do. Like I was saying in my last show, I first got into it, I had the Cobra Kai figures with the TMNT cross.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
don't know if you remember those
I do.
packs, but I just completely covered Johnny with blood, and I like got all my NECA horror figures and created like Cobra die, and it was like a 6-hour process of setting this thing up. And I never ever did that again. I never was
Too
like
much, huh?
so committed to, but I love the photos to this day. So maybe that's where I'm failing myself, is like maybe I should commit a little bit.
It sounds like, and it sounds like it was worth it, right? Like,
Oh, I love it. I will say it, like it's probably one of the photos when I first started on Instagram with my toy account that got one of the most likes with the toy photography,
oh,
right? So
I'm gonna have to go back and find that one.
yeah, I have to find it too. It's so, I have thousands of posts too, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So the other day I actually found Johnny still bloody. Like I didn't even clean him up. He's
What
still dead.
what did you use
He's
for the
still dead.
blood?
Just fake blood that you would buy like Spirit Halloween or something like that. Like I got the gel kind though instead of the liquid, so like it coagulated and it's all like thick, and like I'm like, well, he's dead. He's staying dead for the
He's
rest of his
dead
life.
Johnny forever.
Love that guy. So yeah, Ninja. That's why Ninja Turtles always. I'm like, although I'm not the giant Ninja Turtle fan, there's it's got, I love here. There's always something. So
Awesome.
see that. Right. And then of course, this one is not your photo, but I've seen how you took in some collabs to work on some extreme close-ups. Of
Yeah.
course, with,
Extreme.
I know, so extreme. Like, dude, who just, how did you think of that? Like, did you just have like a Mountain Dew moment? You're like, I'm just gonna do all these close-up shots. Like, I don't understand it. Like Monster Energy, but they're awesome. And then I saw, of course, with, to go hand in hand with that, we were doing some extreme. Boom! I love this
Yeah.
photo. Godzilla.
Yeah.
Now
And
is that
here,
like sparks in the background? Like sparks? Like
not
fire
it's not
sparks?
real sparks.
Okay, that's what I was like.
Right.
That's pretty cool,
Actually,
though.
it is real, but I didn't take the photos. It's an overlay from one of my buddies' Nomad
Gotcha,
figure,
gotcha.
and he sent me a package of like all these fire and sparks and stuff.
But it's cool.
Yeah, it works. It
It does
works.
work, right? No, for sure. I love this photo. And you don't see a lot of like Godzilla versus King Kong anymore, right? So I've done a couple photos. They're more simple, but that's sometimes just what it is.
Well, it's always a throwback to the old Godzilla versus King Kong, and like it doesn't get any better than those old black and white movies. Actually,
Oh, for sure.
was Godzilla versus. I think Godzilla versus Kong was color when it first came out. That was because it was the '60s, right? But
Yes.
anyways, it's
I'm
throwback.
staring at the poster right now. I'm like, wait a minute. I have all the movie posters for them. So I'm like, right. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, you're right.
excellent.
I know. I actually, that's why I really want your shower curtain, because I actually have the creature poster, the mummy poster, all of that around the house. I'm like, damn, I need a shower curtain now.
Oh man, sounds like the coolest house ever.
No, it's not the coolest house. It's the warmest house on the block, but it's got a lot of cool stuff in it.
Nice, very nice.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Mike really inspired me to. I had never done a close up like that, and after seeing his just constant fire on his page, I was like, okay, I got it. I got to see what this is all about.
Of course. Oh, is this a Jack specific Donkey Kong?
I have him right here. Let me see.
I think he is a Jack specific. I think I have the same one. He looks cool. That's why I was like, I like the concept with doing it
Yes,
on the video game console.
Jack
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
at that. See, even from afar, I'm like, I know my toys.
yeah, from looking at his butt.
Right? Like, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
this
love
is
it. And is this a real console then you incorporated in with this?
real console, and this was cool because this was a collaboration with Gabriel G. Balda, and
Mhm.
he did he did another shot that kind of connect, And so it was really weird. He took a shot first and then sent it to me, and I tried to line things up to make it look like Donkey Kong was throwing Mario, kind of like, I don't know, through a screen or through another world or something.
Okay.
And it was, man, that guy is a genius. You should check him out, Gabriel Balda, if you don't already. G Balda.
Make sure, everybody. G Balda.
G Balda, check him out. I'm sure everybody in the chat knows him. He's fantastic. Oh yeah, good old Donkey Kong, my favorite.
I love this one. I actually bought this one for my son for Christmas. That's how I was like, oh yeah, Jack specific. But he instantly went into like a Nintendo bin, and I haven't seen him since this photo. So, so it's like, I'm sure he's in there somewhere. I just don't know where he's at.
Gotta break him out and make him battle Godzilla.
He should. But I think I need to pay some homage to the vintage toys that I have. So I got some vintage. What did I get recently? I want to try to incorporate them in a photo, but I don't know how to do it. So it's a vintage. You probably can't see them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like 79 vintage. But I'm like, how am I going to incorporate them and still make it realistic? Because I'd have to use more of a modern Godzilla, right? Instead of retro. That's where I'm like, I need to find like a retro Godzilla.
Yeah, that's a good point. Which I'm
that's
sure
old school.
They're out there, but you might have
somewhere.
To pay through your nose for some of
those. No, I get that. So predominantly I see Gomez is, so I guess he's, what would you class, like a sci-fi character? No, not even sci-fi. Like, what would his character be classified as? Like, do you think? Like, I don't even know. He's just like a mascot, really, I think, right?
Yeah, he's a mascot. Yeah,
Mesco, yeah.
Yeah, from Mesco. I guess at first he was like straight action because it was Agent Gomez, but now he's branching off into all these different. Now they got like sci-fi Gomez, like looks like kind of they call it Void Gomez, where he's like a space cadet. They're doing all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just call him my buddy.
My buddy. So aside from shooting him, what is your favorite? And everybody, I love this photo. So I don't have this figure. I need a Jack Torrance figure. I have the Funko Pop only. Right? I need an actual action figure. So whenever I see anything from The Shining, I'm like, yeah, buddy. Right. So what's your favorite theme to shoot aside from shooting your buddy Gomez? Mm-hmm. What do you find you have an easier time executing?
I love shooting turtles.
Okay.
I think besides Gomez, turtles are my favorite to shoot because they're just my favorite. But really, I like bouncing around. I love toys and I love all these different IPs, and I don't like sticking to any one thing because there's so much fun to be had in so many different areas.
Of course. Well, that's why I collect different things too, because you can love all the one thing you want, sure, but I'm like, I love it all.
Yeah.
Right? So I have to have a little bit of everything, right?
Exactly.
So I'll never be a completionist, right?
Ooh, well, you can't be because it never ends.
No, right? So yeah, no, that's fun. I know I just started new collecting. We just started Lego collecting now. So that is a new rabbit hole. I'm not even kidding when I show you this, that we just bought 4 Lego kits today.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just nonstop, like, keep building Lego every day. And that's a rabbit hole too, apparently.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it is.
It started just wanting the figures, but now I'm like, I want the sets. I want to build things and keep them on the shelf. Right?
You posted a shot of a little Beetlejuice minifig.
Yes.
And I commented, I was like, I want that. I need that. You're like, dude, you can find it on eBay or whatever you said.
Yeah. I found it online, and then like there's a Lego store here. It's a small one. It's called like the Brick Shack. And like, it's so cute. It's like done in Lego and everything. And I went there and I found like a whole bunch of different, like Elvira, all that stuff there. And I was like, dude, I didn't even know these things. They're probably knockoffs. Let's get real. They're more than likely knockoffs, but they'll do what they do the figures for. Right?
There's a lot of
they're so cool
out there. But I feel like if I dive in, it, like you said, is a rabbit hole and I'll never escape.
That's right. That's right.
I've got so many other things I mean, the list is nonstop. The list is so long already. Oh man.
And it doesn't end, like you said. They just keep announcing more cool stuff all the time. Like, I know, like whatever, I think it was SDC, whatever just happened in the States. You have to forgive me. I don't follow as much as I used to when it comes to cons.
You're
But like,
forgiven.
right? I was like, oh, I'm almost done the Universal Monsters TMNT. Like, oh, no, you're not. Right?
More
Like,
coming.
oh, no, you're not. So I was just like, damn, this is a rabbit hole I said I wasn't doing. And now I'm in it again, right? Because you have to finish it now.
But
Right?
yeah, and some of the stuff that's coming looks awesome, like that creature from the Black Lagoon,
I
Leo.
know. I
So
know.
good.
That's
Looks
the
so
one
good.
thing I did say I want more of in my collection is more creature stuff. So I was stoked when I was like, yes, right? Anything
Yes.
Universal Monsters, I'm a-okay with, right?
Yep.
Or anything
I'm
from
with
that
you.
era, particularly,
Mhm.
right? So
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Doesn't
I
get any
know it's
better.
like
It's like the sweet
creature,
spot
creature.
for me. The Universal Monster stuff, like
Mhm,
just that era of like
mhm.
I like horror. Um, a lot of the new horror, it's like hit or miss for me. But
Yes.
anything of that old, Universal Monster, you know, anything, I'm in there. Now, honest for me, it's like okay, yes, the movies aren't like the most spectacular movies, but the
They're
monsters
psychological
are
though,
psychological. There's
right?
something about them, you know, that just they don't do it like that anymore. And
Yeah, I agree.
the monsters themselves are unparalleled. You
Mhm.
can't beat like the design of these monsters. You know.
No, absolutely not. Like I remember, I actually just bought like the whole classic movie set. I was sick a couple months ago, and I just like watched every single movie the 2 weeks I stayed home. Like I miss this kind of stuff because it was so
Yeah.
simple and basic, but it's still obviously it doesn't scare you out of your mind. But for the times, obviously back then it might be a little more intimidating for people.
Yeah.
I'm used to stuff like that. Like you could do a lot of things in front of me now. I'm like that doesn't scare me, right? Because the horror movies today are so fake,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, but that I still watch The Wolfman. I'm like, oh, okay, I can see where you get a little bit creeped out here, right? But it's so like what's about to happen, right? Like it's all leading up. But no, they're good. Like they can't black and white films always. I love all black and white because it's just the era where I was just like, okay. Even those silent films, I've watched a couple. Just like, okay, I get it, right?
Yeah.
Good era of movies, everybody.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, so almost time to wrap up, but I
Mhm.
wanted to touch base on Behind the Plastic. So I know
Yes.
that you are 1/4 of the members on Behind the Plastic. I believe I'll be visiting you guys there soon, eventually, I think
Yes.
it was.
It's
I
coming up.
It's coming up, so we're gonna all visit each other. We might have a showdown at one time with Danger Room too. Who knows, right?
Yes.
So tell us more about that. Of course, I'm going to put that up on the page here so you guys can go ahead and be sure to follow that on Instagram. I know you are 1/4. I know TMNT underscore 1987 is one of those parties. There was
Yep.
not a bird, not to, sorry, I might be saying it wrong,
No,
not
you
to
got it.
claim photography. Oh, I was right. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get the screen up, so I'm just like, who am I missing here?
The
So,
other
to my
guy.
understanding, it's a highlight page as well where we're showcasing different artists, letting them showcase themselves, just to see what they are. Where the star is you, essentially. I think that is what
Right.
the slogan
Where
is
the
over
star
there.
is you.
Right. So tell us a little bit about that, how you guys came to be, anything fun coming up on the program you want to plug, of course. The floor is yours in regards to this.
Well, Behind the Plastic started because I was on Lazy Boys Sundays a couple months ago, and
Mm-hmm.
Jay, TMNT 1987, was watching. And after the show, he started DMing me saying, dude, I think you should start a show. And I was like, I don't know. I don't really like, I don't know. I don't really want to. And he's like, no, you gotta. You have to. You're gonna. And I was like, well, I'll do it if you and Sully do it with me. And he was like, well, I don't know if I want to do a show. It's like, so it all worked out that they're like, okay, we'll do it too. And so we just threw it together and came up with a 12-minute idea to keep it short because like you keep this show short to an hour, we're going even shorter. Like, get in, get out, get on with your life, right?
That's right.
But it really it blossomed out of um, just celebrating this community and all the wonderful people in it, and we're just trying to get to know these people better, show people's faces, and hear their voices and see what they're all about. And we've met some incredible people already, and we have a bunch more to come. Today we had Work More or Less as the guest. Now, of course, we recorded him about a month ago, so we've been like for a month. And tomorrow, or not tomorrow, well, tomorrow the trailer will drop for Thursday's episode, which is Green Geek 88.
Of course, right? Green Geek.
We have the Big Bar Dudes coming up, Green Geek, and then Thor, and then Blitz. That'll be next week. So we got a lot of cool stuff happening. We've got, I don't know, probably 10 episodes in the can, 10 episodes lined up. It's just a constant machine. It just keeps moving.
Oh, for sure. So you guys pre-record that, to my knowledge.
We pre-record.
That's right.
Yep.
Now, there you go, guys. If you don't follow them, go ahead and follow them. Of course, it's not live, so you will catch the replay regardless.
That's right. It'll be up
right?
on YouTube forever, or
that's
until
right.
YouTube crashes and burns. Which
I love when people start doing shows like that, because like we all just, hey, do you want to pop out over here? Can you pop on over here? And like you find like it's always the same people in the community, and you're like, those are the people, right? Like it's just what it is. I love this community for it. And you say Thor, Blitz, I'm like, yeah, I know all those guys.
Yeah, they're good dudes. I know for sure.
Right. Actually, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say the other. It says we are 4 guys, and I only named 3. The other guy is Crooked Ninja Turtle. He's kind of our behind the scenes guy. He does a lot of the audio visual, and he does this Crooked Mondays where he features a photo. Awesome toy photographer. Anybody in the chat who doesn't know him, go check him out. Wonderful dude. But this is a great page just because it's like, we highlight these people, we smother them with love, and try to get their work out there and have a lot of fun doing it.
And that's what it's all about, right? Yeah. Like, that's what I love. Like, today actually I went grocery shopping, and today I was like stopped by a young fella. He's like, "Are you Cushy Mama on Instagram?" I was like, I was. And I was just like, he was so shocked. He's like, "Can I take a picture?" I was like, "Honestly, honey, I just got off work. I don't really feel like taking a picture." Right. So stuff like that. And I was just like, how do you know that? It was from the toy community. So I was like, how did you even know that? Right.
That's awesome. Holy
right.
Cow.
Like, no, it's kind of awesome. But like I'd like to be humble about stuff. So let me put that out there. I have a different persona online than I actually am at home. I'm very humble and like quiet and stuff like that. I'm very outspoken, mind you, at the same time, but there has to be a reason for it. So, but for me, it was just like, wow. And then he started explaining, like, he's seen some toy pictures I've taken and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, small world that it has to come with the toy photography community. Right. So I was just like, whoa.
You're a celebrity. You are a legit celebrity now.
Right. No, I'm not at all. God celebrity. That's happened twice. And I'm just like, please, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. What did I do is the question at hand.
I'm going to count it as a good thing.
No, it's good. That's why I like the community, though, because Blitz, Thor, all of them were one of my first steps within the community because, and I say this every time, Unworthy put one of my photos up on the pick bar when I first started, and that's where I was like, yes, I'm in.
Yep. Right? Yep.
Oh, so awesome. I appreciate and respect every single one of the people I've come across within the toy community, whether it's photography, collectors, just people who appreciate it but can't have it all, right? That they want. Yep. It's a great community. And of course, these fellas that you mentioned, I don't know a lot of them. I'm just learning a bit about them, but I see that they're very out there as well. So good for you guys. I hope it's very successful as well. I can't wait to join you and see the rest of your guests, of course. Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Over on YouTube.
It's gonna blow your mind. 12 minutes goes by in a heartbeat.
It sure, well, an hour does, so I can only imagine it's like, boop, right? Right. Then I always like, can you talk for an hour? I'm like, I can, so I can definitely talk for 12 minutes. Definitely. Well, we're almost at the end. Is there anything you would like to plug, promo, anything you'd like to share? This is all for you, man.
Not particularly. I think we've covered a lot, and I think that just being here and hanging out with you and getting to meet you and talk with you and just talk about this awesome community is that's enough for me. I'm not the show, like Behind the Plastic, we get to talk to people like you do, and we get to talk about them and put all the praise on them and all the attention goes on them. And so to have it on me, it's like, okay, enough. Enough. I'm good. I think
I
we're good.
totally understand the sentiment. When I do go on people's show, I'm all for it, guys. But then I'm just like, no, I think we're good, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we can call it a day. Right? So,
yeah.
no worries. Of course, everybody, if you haven't already, go ahead and follow Zach over on Instagram. One more time, his page will be up here so that you can get his link. Sequential_plastic. I said it perfectly that time. Right?
Even I get tongue tied on it.
Oh yeah, no,
Sequential.
I don't know what it is. I was saying it beautifully, but then I was like, oh, I just couldn't. Right? Go ahead, follow him. Behind the Plastic. When does Behind the Plastic play? I did not ask you. When do you guys typically put those up?
We drop episodes on every Tuesday and Thursday.
So twice a week, everybody.
Twice a
Follow
week.
them over on the YouTubes. That's where
Yep,
you'll find it, I believe. Right?
that is
So.
correct.
That is awesome. Well, with that being said, I won't keep you much longer. I know we're all super busy. Thank you so much, Zach, for being here. I can't wait to join you guys over on Behind the Plastic and
Yeah.
see, of course, what you guys have to get up to. Of course, I've seen some things. I've got to catch a few episodes now. So super cool. I'm excited to see what everyone's doing. We're all very collaborative, which is what I love the most about this community. So I'll let you get to it. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for coming on to the collector sector. And I
Thank
can't wait to
you.
see what else. Thank you. No. This is
No,
about you.
thank
This is
you.
not about me. Right? We'll go let the fangirl do that now.
Thank you, Mike.
Right. Thank you, Mike. Did you hear that? He heard you. He's watching. Oh, there he goes. The comments are in there already. Well, thank you. Enjoy the rest of
Thanks,
your
Mike.
evening. I'll catch you on Instagram and we'll talk so very, very soon.
All right. Thanks again.
All right. Stay super cool, my dude. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I was having a little bit of technical difficulties there, of course. Once again, just a show about getting to know people within the community. We are going to be doing some really fun stuff too going forward. I have started to find some convention goers who are going to do some lives with us. And of course, meet some new retailers and some merchandisers and creators. So I'm excited for some of our next guests coming up. And of course, always excited for everyone who has been here in the past and our repeat guests that will join us again soon. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bearing with us during our summer break. You guys have yourselves a kick-ass night and stay tuned to the Collector Sector next week. Of course, I think we're going to bring on Danger Room next week, but who knows? Who knows? All right, you guys have a kick-ass day. We'll see you also very, very soon.